Hey, this is Lynch from the Chaotic Neutral Podcast doing another Destiny Notes update video. This is for patch 1.1.0.2, the one that followed expansion 1. This is a hotfix for some things that happened with the first expansion, just to update some corrections for some issues with Destiny. General fix the typo in German for the word radiant energy. For weapons, general fix of fixing an issue in which some projectile weapons were improperly penetrating hive shields. Some changes to pocket infinity. Rolled back changes induced by a previous exotic weapons update. Charge up and deactivation now work as originally designed. And players once again may encounter a previously known issue which prevents charge up.
I hope this works.
Not entirely sure how that's a fix, but okay. For gear, we have both existing and future raid gear obtained in Crota's End now begins at level 30, with an upgrade path to reach level 32. The raid helmet obtained in Crota's End now drops on normal mode and will be a more frequent drop on hard mode. Fixed an issue in which Dead Orbit Hunter Cloaks awarded reputation gains for both Dead Orbit and Vanguard/Crucible. For an activities update, added a replayable node to the director for the Fist of Crota mission. So that's it. It was just a hotfix. This has been Lynch, signing out. I'll see you in orbit.
Welcome to Redacted Special Destiny Edition, where we're going to be talking about the update notes for Dark Below that just came out December 9th. It is currently, what's today, December 14th? Yeah, December 14th. So we're going to go over some of the specifics of what happened, what they fixed, what they broke, and how we feel about it. Yeah. With me tonight is Lucci.
Hey.
And Tim.
Yo, yo, yo.
So we'll just start right off with this. Let's. How do you want to go about this? Exotics?
Exotics. They at least they're going to be upgrading the exotics.
Yeah.
Granted, it takes Xur to upgrade the exotics, and there's only a limited number of exotics that he will upgrade every week.
Right. So
it is a large list, but it is not a complete list.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my question. For instance, I have. Oh, what do I have? I have Plan C. I think actually Plan C may be my only exotic weapon.
Plan C was not on that list this week.
No.
Okay, now here's the question.
Icebreaker was.
Icebreaker, yeah.
You dick.
I know. Already got it.
Now, if let's say hypothetically you miss that week, that let's say Plan C comes up, and I just I'm too busy, whatever. I've got so much crap going on. It's not even funny. Let's say I missed that update week. Is it going to come back around? Do we know yet?
You may or may not get lucky enough the next week. That's the problem. I know for a fact that Plan C for me was not on the list because I have Plan C and it is not on the list. Neither was my Monte Carlo.
Right. You mentioned the Monte Carlo wasn't on the list, and you were a little upset about that.
Yeah. The Monte Carlo. The only thing that was on the list that my character was available to have Xur upgrade was my Sunbreaker gauntlets, which I'm already planning on replacing with the Vanguard.
I take that back. I have the Aclophage symbiote helmet. I'm
too late.
God damn.
Because he's not there anymore for this week.
I wouldn't have had enough glimmer anyway.
I didn't have the symbiote helmet. I had the other one, the hive helmet.
And that's you have that. Oh, you son of a bitch! I want that.
I did upgrade it.
I like the Aclophage. I really want the hive helmet. God damn it! That thing.
The Aclophage, I think, is the only hunter helmet I don't have.
Really? Yeah. I got lucky on that one. I think I got it from Xur one week. Now, now if I understand correctly, with the exotics, when you upgrade them to, I guess, the new system.
Yep.
With that
to the 331.
331, right? You're going to lose all of the upgrades on them, but you'll get your base damage as
306.
I think it's 306,
which is higher than the top end.
The top end is 300.
Now, will it go up from there?
Yes, it goes up to 340 or 330.
331.
331. Okay. Now the question with that is, but you're going to have to then spend all. Well,
you have to re-upgrade everything.
You have to re-upgrade all, for instance, to get say if you have the one shotgun that goes full auto, you're going to have to re-upgrade that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm looking at the Monte Carlos. I finally fully upgraded the Monte Carlo. I spent the exotic shard on it. Mm-hmm. And now I'm looking at needing to upgrade it again and spending the exotic shard on
Two
it
two
again.
exotic shards, because you have to buy the upgrade, and then after you upgrade it,
I have so many exotics that I'm going to break because, well, they're bounty exotics, and the
I have-
hand cannon is, or not the bad juju is so easy to get.
Is it? Does
Yeah.
it require? Does it require? First off, does it require?
It
Crucible.
requires crucible, but it's
Then I'm
the
never
easy-
gonna get it.
It's the easy crucible.
How
It's-
easy?
Just get points. Just get points in crucible.
See, the problem I have with the hand cannon bounty I still have, and I've had for like a goddamn month, is because you need
The
I
hand
need to
cannon
do
one is hard
500
to do.
points worth of void damage, and if you die, it
It's
goes back
five points per void kill, negative
Minus
2
2.
points for
every death. Right, which means I know me. What'll happen is I'll get a streak, I'll get to like 450. And then all of a sudden, I'll just get my ass handed to me because their matchmaking system is still fucking useless.
It comes down to every weapon needs to be void, including your primary.
Which I don't have a void primary. Like how that's
I don't have a special ammo.
well. The only way to get a
void.
void primary is the is the
Atheon's Epitaph.
right. Which I good luck getting that.
Well, a couple of our guild has,
Right, but that doesn't do me any good.
and you got the consolation prize,
Okay, yeah, I did get the consolation.
and I got
prize.
the consolation prize for the
I
consolation
got,
prize.
I got the what was it the
Vision of Confluence,
Vision of Confluence. Yeah, right. It's my
which is still a really good.
scout rifle.
scout rifle.
It's an amazing scout rifle, especially if you're playing a
I
hunter.
got Time's Vengeance Sparrow, which is awesome. I do love that Sparrow, but
Now, what does that sparrow do? Anything specific?
it's fast and it's got a boost that makes it even faster.
Although I think, short of Atheon's Epitaph, I came out the better of the two of us. I got the Monte Carlo out of.
Now
the
you
vault.
have been essentially stroking that.
I
gun.
have been riding that gun since I've gotten it.
Yeah,
it's so
the
good.
minute you got it, you were a happy boy.
Because it has the low fire rate AR properties of it, so it's very high in stability from the get go. Even though it has the small clip size, I think the original clip size is 36,
Okay.
I believe. But once you upgrade it to the maximum clip size, it's 56. So, and then you get the increase of the reserve ammo to 6. I don't know if I can't remember if I have the increased auto rifle reserve ammo size, but I'm at like total rounds is like 680 or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's got the stability of a slow fire auto rifle. It's got the stability. If you haven't used a slow fire auto rifle, it's got the stability of a slow fire heavy machine gun.
Okay, yeah,
So it's
yeah.
ultra stable.
I have Zombie Apocalypse, which I've described, especially with the stability mod on it. I've described that as a high DPS sniper goddamn machine gun, because it is ridiculous, and it does void damage. It is a ridiculous goddamn gun.
It's a high damage. It's not, the fire rate isn't like slow by any means, but it is like one of the lower
It's not,
fire
yeah,
rate.
it's not throwing as much lead in the air as
It's
some of the
not
others.
like Dr. Nope or one of like the 66 or 72
which I'm
round
still trying.
clips.
I'm still trying to upgrade my Dr. Nope. I'm still.
Don't worry about it anymore.
Really?
Nope.
Oh, that's right, because I have the old version.
Yep, you got the old version, and it's
okay.
non-upgradable. Don't worry about it. Break it. Break it for parts.
I might as well. Good thing I haven't sunk any like actual stuff in it. It's all been
Which may or
experience.
may not. Might as well. I mean, even though it's not upgradable now, it doesn't mean they're not going to change it in 2 weeks anyway.
That's a good point. I might just stick it in the vault and let it sit for a little while. Worst
it's
case scenario, if I look at it and go, I really need that ascended energy. Then
Yeah,
I can,
well,
you.
If you're not really going to use it anytime in the future, stick with your Vision of Confluence.
Oh, I
because
have been, yeah.
Straight up, pound for pound, the Vision of Confluence is a better weapon than Dr. Nope.
To be perfectly honest, I've only been equipping things like Plan C and Dr. Nope. Plan C's not bad, not particularly a fan, but I mean that's at least upgradable. No, it isn't.
No, Plan C is upgradable.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's an exotic. Plan C is an exotic.
okay, yeah.
So it's
But,
upgradable.
Okay, it is upgrade. But here's the thing: I've only equipped those right before I hand in like 3 or 4 bounties in a shot, and then I'll spend the points to upgrade them, and then I'll put my primary weapons back in, and I'll just let them sit in my inventory.
Yeah. The thing with Plan C is what you have to do is I'm a huge proponent of Plan C.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh yeah. No. Yeah.
love
Yeah. You've been
Plan C.
talking that gun up since you got it straight out.
The only upgrade that you need to get with Plan C is the decreased charge rate,
Which I have.
upgrade.
I do. But if I remember correctly, I do have that one. I've been looking forward to getting
almost have
the
that.
increased damage because that can't
because
hurt.
it fires almost as fast as a scout rifle, but you're
There's-
firing a fusion rifle.
There's still a little bit
Okay.
of a charge.
There's still a little
yeah.
bit of a charge, but compared to most other exotic fusion rifles, even at most other fusion rifles, it has a lower charge rate. It has a faster charge rate than most other fusion rifles, and it hits like a goddamn Mack truck.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. I have experienced that. That's one of the only reasons I've held on to it because that's one of those guns that I got. And I'm like, before I upgraded, I'm like,
Before they gave you the legendary, before Eris gave you the legendary fusion rifle,
I have
as
that.
part of the
Yeah, I have that. I want to start upgrading that thing.
part of the quest line. Plan C, in my opinion, was the best fusion rifle in the game.
Yeah, the Eris gun is pretty good.
And the only reason the Eris gun has priority over Plan C is it's not even the damage. It's the ability to switch between arc and solar.
No,
Yeah.
I saw that and immediately I went, oh.
Yeah, it is a good gun. It doesn't have too slow of a fire rate. It's a decent all around gun. It's not amazing. It's very good though. All right, so getting back to the update then. So that's pretty much exotics are,
It's
Well-
going to be a pain to upgrade
Well,
them.
let's look at armor then, because there's a lot of problems with everyone who's like raiding, trying to get the raid gear to get their light level up to 30. Now you can go to the Vanguard armor or
And get up to 31.
and get up to 31.
It's still tough though because the Vanguard armor with the helmet and the chest piece require a Vanguard commendation, which will only come from leveling up in Vanguard.
yeah. So does the
As
boots,
of
I think.
as of after the update.
No,
obviously.
I'm pretty sure because I bought the boots and I bought the. I will be buying the gloves once they become
no, I
available.
bought the chest plate.
I bought the
Okay,
chest plate
yeah.
as well.
So you need
have
a
the gloves and the
you need
chest
a
plate.
commendation
Yeah.
from either. Wouldn't it be easier to start? I mean, at least for you, because I've seen you get a character maxed out in a couple of
20,
days.
20 hours.
Yeah, in 20. Yeah. So you go and you go start say a new hunter, and because it's going to be to get that commendation, it's going to be easier to get to level 3 or 4 and get that commendation, and then buy the armor and put it in the vault and get it on your primary.
No, because it's the chest and the head are still 120 Vanguard marks.
So you're still looking at a couple weeks worth of grinding for this.
The chest is 75.
At
The
least-
head is 120.
You're going to spend at least a week and a day grinding.
But looking at that though, spending a week and a day grinding in your primary, you're going to have more experience points to grind on whatever level 7, 10, 12 you're probably already at in your primary.
Yeah, I haven't actually leveled up my or gone through the story mode in my alts yet because I've just been focusing on the main because I wanted to get it up to
Raid level. Yeah.
raid status. Well, it's already at raid status for the new raid. I want to get it to the point where I want to max out the light level for Vanguard and to I want to get to that point before we actually start to get to series rating. Because
The Vaulted Glass on hard mode or the new vault or the new raid rather.
yeah, the new raid.
I keep calling it a vault. It's the new one's not a vault. It's a raid.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a raid.
Both of them are raids.
No, they're both raids, but one is specifically Vault of Glass. The other one is
And Crota's End.
Crota's End, which is in the Hellmouth. It's not a vault. So
Yeah.
I'm slipping into the Borderlands thing where it's like, oh, look, new vault. Hey, look, new vault. It's not a vault.
Yeah,
So.
I know, it's a raid.
Yeah.
But I believe that if you get a new exotic. If you get the Dark Below exotic and you get all Vanguard marks, I believe you can get to 31.
Okay.
It's much like the vanilla. Let's call it vanilla Destiny, because now there's an expansion out we can call it vanilla Destiny, where
Yeah.
if you got all Vanguard things and one exotic, you can get to 29.
Yeah.
You'll get to one level below the max
The
level.
max.
Well, that's where I'm at right now because I still have non-raid boots and the non-raid.
Don't
chest
even
piece.
don't even worry about.
Oh no.
raid,
I'm not. But up until last Tuesday.
raid gear drops.
Yeah, exactly.
People have been saying something about the Vault of Glass isn't worth it anymore. It's still worth it for the Ascendant materials
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I
and
saw
the exotic drops.
and exotic drops and
I'm still
just the experience of
I'm still
raiding.
with the vast
And raiding
majority
is
here.
so much fun.
No, the game that itself is a whole game unto itself, and it's awesome. And the teamwork required is amazing. Because you've seen it. There's at least one friend that I'm not going to name. That when we raid with him, we don't get anywhere because he does an MMO.
We do, but it's trying.
harder for everybody.
We have to carry. There's
That's
somebody
exactly
we
what
have
it,
to
yeah,
carry.
that's exactly what it is. And not their fault. They don't
do.
MMO. They don't quite get it.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, don't go do this, and then they will go do this, and it's like, what did we? You're not going to get anywhere doing that.
It comes down to there is the progressive raid mentality, and then there's the casual mentality.
Right.
It's where I just want to play this to play this, and then there are the people who are like of the progressive raid
or I
mentality where we want to beat this.
Or I just want to play this to get the stuff out of it. It's not really. They're not looking at the team aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Which, frankly, if we still want to look at doing like an actual Crucible team,
I'm all for it.
I know I'm. That's the one
I'm
instance.
especially on for it for PS4.
That's the one instance of which I am. I know I'm bad at Crucible. I know I'm bad at Crucible. That's something I do
carry you.
for fun.
I'll carry you.
I mean, I will improve. It's just getting there. That's the thing. But like, it's That's one of those things where if I'm on my headset and all the rest of my team is on that headset, and I know them all. We can we can just make fun, and that's more fun than sitting by myself in a team of people I don't know and I can't hear half of them, and half of them are running music I don't really want to listen to over their headsets. It's just not that much fun.
Yeah, the raid experience, the group experience. One of the things they did change in the patch leading up to the Dark Below was the fire team chat.
Yes,
Which was-
they finally put in that opt-in chat system, which is very, very nice.
It's a great thing. I actually just experienced it for the first time because I just met up with this guy doing the daily, and we partied up, kicked it off really well. It was two Sunsinger Warlocks rolling into a level 30 daily mission and going, let's just eat everything. Oh no, I'm dead. What will I ever do?
Sarcastic death.
Maybe
bastard.
I just might hit R1 and R2 at the same time. Oh, look, I'm alive again.
Is there a
But-
time limit from the point you're dead that you can do that?
Nope.
No.
As soon as you die, you can hit R. You
Well,
can
I mean,
use your super.
like, do you
you
have
wait?
to do it soon enough?
no,
Like,
no. It's when
It's just before you wipe, basically.
Yeah, before you wipe.
Yeah, because people do it after, like, if you're doing the raid, they do it after, like, the 6 seconds comes up that the raid has failed.
Uh-huh.
People will come back up after that has started.
Nice.
Another thing that I've noticed with the dailies is the dailies will auto set to level 30 now.
Really?
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Cool.
I wonder.
Actually, I
wonder as a level 29 if that would.
It will. I think it will auto set to 30. Some of them will auto set to the new missions for the Dark Below will auto set to 30.
Now that's obviously going to pose a more of a challenge for me, but I wonder if the rewards would be greater at that point. I guess
Yeah,
it would
well,
have to.
well, you're gonna-
Statistically, they are better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the guy that I randomly got into a group with, he was level 28, and so I joined his daily party, and it was set to 30. So, that's one thing, and I've found that at 30, that the daily missions are ridiculously hard.
Really?
They're tough. You definitely want to do dailies with a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Some of
No, here's the thing. I've heard it one way or the other. When you're playing a daily or a weekly or a strike or anything with a group, does that actually scale to the group, or is it just
It scales.
It's supposed to scale
it
to
now
the group.
scales to the group. It is harder to solo any of them now.
Okay.
The way they balanced it. They don't. Bungie apparently doesn't like that and is going to tweak that some more. But they feel right now that's better than the way it was before. So it is much harder to solo something than it used to
Yeah,
be.
like because I'm looking at it right now, and I'm going, even on my Sunsinger Warlock, it still takes 6 or 7 deaths to complete one of the new dailies at 30.
Oh.
So it's as far as I know, it's almost impossible to solo a daily without that self res.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have my level 30 hunter and went in with Icebreaker for the daily that was
Was it Rasputin?
yeah
with
going
all the- with
with
all
all
the-
the witches.
Yeah, with all the witches and the poop on the ground.
Yeah.
I haven't played that one yet. No, I have.
yeah.
I have played that one actually. Come to think of it.
So soloing that on 30 by yourself, like I could eventually get it. It's a pain in the ass.
I believe it.
There's a couple places where you can hide and recover.
Even then, like,
But
once-
even then, when they come and find you, you have to be ready to destroy them right then. Like,
when you got an elite witch and an elite knight coming bearing down on you in your hiding spot,
Yeah.
what, I don't know.
You run, you're fucked. You kill them. It's your only chance, and if you're recovering a shield or anything, you're kind of screwed. So it's kind of hit or miss. It like you have to be very careful on it to like I'm sure I could have passed it by myself. I quit out and went back with friends later.
It's so much if you don't have that self res, it's so much easier to do it with a group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if they increase the difficulty a little bit, having that just having one extra person
Yeah, no, definitely
makes it so much easier. Just
But
somebody
you can,
to
you
cover
can, you can
to
spread
help.
out the ag a little. Definitely
spread out the
Spread out the
ag.
ag and res.
Res, spread out the DPS, just having somebody to watch your back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's I enjoy how hard it is. I love how hard they made it. Then again, I also play the Impossible Game and AVGN Adventures and Super Meat Boy.
There are other levels you can do it if you don't want that challenge. I agree with you. I like that extra challenge.
I occasionally, I will say occasionally, I do like a challenge in a lot of cases. Sometimes I just want to go in
and have fun
and
and
mess
play
around.
through it. But that's the thing. You can do it. You
Yeah.
just choose a lower level.
Yeah.
That's the thing. With my Warlock, since my Warlock is 30 now, I don't have some of these. I don't have the option to bring it down. That level select no longer shows up.
So if you're level 30, your option is level 30.
Yeah, my option is level 30.
I haven't noticed that.
I did the Rasputin quest the other day, and I selected the daily mission. It auto set me to 30 and went, you have no
Oh.
other option.
The daily may may have locked in the dailies.
And that's the thing.
I
is
didn't
it's-
notice that.
It's the dailies that will lock in at a certain level.
The daily, weekly.
Speaking of which, this was kind of a big deal. The weekly last week, the first weekly that came out with Dark Below,
Was the new strike.
was locked behind the DLC.
Yeah.
And if you didn't buy the DLC, supposedly you couldn't play it.
Yeah, because you couldn't play it because
You couldn't unlock it.
It's story mode.
Yeah, it's story. Yeah.
And with that, like that was a big complaint with lots of people. A huge complaint with lots of people who like couldn't do the weekly or nightfall because of it. And I kind of have the opposite effect to it, which is just that there's this weekly mission. It's great, you get to do it or whatever, but at the same time, PS4 has exclusives for 2 strikes now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Right, and you don't
they
have-
have never come up in the rotation for it. Now, I personally don't. I personally think that Xbox One and PS4 should have separate rotations. Like there's no. It's not necessary for them to keep on the exact same schedule. I understand.
Well, keep in mind-
the want to.
PlayStation 4 has timed exclusive for a lot of this stuff for a year.
Right. Well, they do, but it
the-
doesn't mean that like we should not be able to do the Flyers strike as part of a weekly.
So
Like
we're gonna
the
fight
Flares.
a hockey team.
Flares.
I'm correcting myself. Shut up. But
Orange and black.
well, I believe that they're purple, blue, and yellow.
Red.
Anyway,
I hate that strike. I hate it.
it's a tough strike.
It really is a tough strike.
You know, it is. It is a tough strike, and maybe I just haven't found the pacing for it. I don't like it.
You're leveled at a point now where it's probably a much easier strike.
Well, yeah, and the
it's-
vision of confluence certainly isn't hurting either.
Right.
It's also the first strike where they didn't introduce a bullet soak boss,
Yeah.
where you actually have
it's
to
a damage type soak.
it's a damage. It like you actually have to have a little bit of strategy for
right,
it.
and then that's the thing. That I think maybe a couple of the people I've played with haven't really.
It's
again,
not just
haven't
pa-
quite gotten that. And I mean, admittedly, I have my primary that I'm unloading, and I'm looking at the shields, and I know it's going to be this type of damage, and I'm still just take it. I'm still just unloading everything on them like it's going to do anything through that shield.
Yeah, and it does, but
No,
not
it does, but
nearly
it's a
as
much
much
slower.
as it
It's
will.
a much and that's the thing. The couple times I've gone with people who know what they're doing, makes it a lot easier.
And with the flares, like when you're used to strikes coming up to it, it's where you get the bullet soak boss down to a certain percent, and then you look for ads, and then you kill the ads, and you refocus on the boss. This with the flares, it was the first strike where they didn't really have that archetype. It was you have to figure out which one to focus on, which one of the three to focus on first, and you had to focus on until you get into higher levels. You had to focus on one singular flare at a time,
and trying to avoid the other two.
yeah, and trying to avoid the other two, and avoiding
And the Colossus and the Centurions.
it was really the first strike that they introduced that needed to have some sort of coordination between the players. And I could see that a lot of people not liking that, where it wasn't just hide and fire at something.
Yeah, like every other strike there is.
Yeah, it's an interesting. I like the strike as a whole, like as a difficult, interesting strike.
Wait, speaking of the strikes, actually, the Fogoth, we finally figured out that try and clear out the board, then break Fogoth 3, then try and take them down.
What, you do that from the very
We
beginning?
We weren't doing.
I remember when Lucci Nightmare and I were doing that on level or
Level 12 or level 11?
No, level 11, and it was a level 12 strike. And we were going,
again,
why can't we do this?
again, a couple of my fire teams involve a couple of people that they play certain characters because that's who they are.
Yeah, and
I
that's
love
all.
like it's just one of those things where it's like you don't just go think strategically for a second. Don't just go for the boss.
As far as the strikes go, though, for like them showing up as the nightly and or the weekly and the nightfall, like it's a thing that I think Bungie is more than capable to correct, where that they can set a different nightfall for people who don't have it and do, and I believe they should do it for people who are on PS4 and people on Xbox One, so that get that you can have that little bit of variety and that little bit of extra coding.
Well, even at that, like I mean, how hard is it honestly to set the nightfall or the strike, for the DLC, for the people who bought the DLC and the people who didn't.
Right.
It's simple. If you join a fire team for that strike, it's going to tell you can't play anyway.
This should have been something that they addressed. So I do actually think that it's a problem, but I think it's a problem for both, not just the DLC, and it hasn't really been spoken much about the time exclusive content.
Yeah, no,
which is affecting the same thing.
Well, no, that's come up a few times, but I think that's a different. What you're talking about is a different aspect of it as well.
But it's the same thing. Like they should be able to do that, and the fact that that's not part of this these updates or this expansion is disheartening.
Credit where credit's due. Once it came out and the community as a whole started telling them what they did and didn't like and what they did and didn't want, they've been very good about trying to make that work. And in all honesty, that is not an easy job.
Yeah.
I mean,
Especially trying to balance PvP and PvE.
balancing those, and anytime, and especially in coding, anytime you fix one thing, you break 3 others. And the problem is there's just so much testing going on behind the scenes that they have to get everything absolutely right, make sure everything works, and they have to do all the testing before they can push that patch out. Which is why, from the point they announced the radial, the opt-in audio to the fact it came out was like what, 2 months?
Yeah.
Barely. Yeah.
I mean, and that right there is still a quick turnaround. In all honesty,
But Bungie, to their credit, and like this is a like this has been a complaint about this aspect of the both update slash expansion, but like Bungie, to its credit, says one thing and tries to implement it as quickly as possible, and they actually do a good job of implementing updates and changes on a regular basis for this. They are supporting it excruciatingly well.
Although I do have a problem with Bungie saying that they were going to update the bounty exotic weapons and then nothing happening for like 3 months.
Yeah,
And when they did finally buff the exotic bounty weapons, it was just in time for the
Dark Below, where they
the Dark
changed how the
Below.
exotics worked anyway.
Yeah. And the buffs for a lot of them were not very good.
I'm sure there's got to be a prioritization as to what gets patched first.
And it got to the point where like you looked at the bounty exotic weapons and the drop bounty weapons, and there was a very, very big disparity between the two. Mm-hmm. Like a huge disparity. Like
Yeah.
where if you got a bounty exotic weapon, you go, I may or may not use that, or I could just buy a weapon from the Vanguard, and that'll be better than the exotic that I just got. Where I just spent a week working on this bounty.
yeah. Or I randomly, did the Nightfall Strike and I got this exotic, and it's way superior to this thing I spent a week trying to get.
Basically just working my butt off to
Like-
try and get. Yeah.
Like when we beat Atheon one time and I got the Monte Carlo, I was like, well, I'm never going to use another exotic primary.
Yeah. Oh God, Monte Carlo is a primary. I didn't.
It's a
even
primary.
Oh my God, I didn't.
It's an AR. It's a primary.
That's right. Now,
does-
there's a primary shotgun, full auto shotgun too,
Yep.
that our one friend has.
I have it now too.
Do you?
Yeah. The primary shot, it's the remote control.
Remote control. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I have it on both systems now. I did 2 Nightfall Strikes. I got that on the first one, and I got my Icebreaker on the second one. So I was like, all right, well, I'm done.
No, with the
That's
Nightfall.
exactly what I
Now
wanted.
the Nightfall is on the same week turnaround as well. But if you
Yeah.
play the Nightfall more than once per week, you don't get anything the second time, right?
Unless you're doing it on a different character,
Yeah.
which is what I did.
Right. And then at that point, it doesn't matter because it goes in the vault. It goes to another character.
Right.
Yep. Which is one good
That-
thing that they did. Is
Farming wise, that makes a lot more sense.
I enjoy that
Change
they
coins farming for the weeklies. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. Yeah.
I enjoy that
27
they
coins a week minimum.
they kept the bank across all of your characters.
That is nice. I mean, if there's no trade, and understandably, I understand why there's no trading system for in between
because and I can,
player characters, because that would break their system. It would break their loot system.
it would break their loot system. It would introduce an economy into the system, which where they would have to keep track
And-
of,
yeah.
and monitor and try and fix.
And make sure it doesn't get
make adjustments
And make sure it doesn't get exploited.
Yeah.
Because that would be the biggest. I mean, Borderlands 2, for instance, has a great loot system, has a great trading system. The problem that lies out of that, and it's not as game breaking for that because you're never really going up against other players. It's straight out. If you decide that you want to duplicate, and they've been good about trying to patch that out too. But if you wanted to decide you want to duplicate this, legendary orange weapon, you could do it, and the only person you're really hurting is yourself, to be perfectly honest. And then the person you're giving the gun to. That's not really hurting a whole lot. With Destiny, the way they have everything set up, that would break the game.
Anything with a PvP system, the economy and the trading system has to be
it has to be
heavily
balanced.
monitored.
Yeah, it has to
and
be balanced
and,
perfectly.
you can see with a lot of other MMOs like Guild Wars or World of Warcraft. Where World of Warcraft is where I spend a majority of my MMO time. But you can see it. It's like where some servers the economy is very broken and you can really exploit an economy. It's really tough to get to balance and work. And I believe without that trading system, Bungie was just like, we don't want to get into this headache that we'll have to monitor.
Right. Well, that also requires more patching, exploit finding, any number of things that really they have better things to focus on.
Indeed. One of the things is I don't know if it's just for me because I have a character of max level that I could get them at the time. Like the Warlock is 30 now. The Titan is 28. The Hunter's 27. I don't know if it's congruent to account or if it's congruent to character, but the Eris daily bounty quests. That's something I had concerned about. Because I looked at it. The first day on day one, I looked at it and went, "It's a Titan daily bounty. I cannot do this."
I can tell you on day 3, it was a Warlock. It was a Nova Bomb bounty. Now you were bringing up the so far it's been like Titan, Warlock, Titan, Hunter, Titan.
Yeah.
It's been like one.
It's been a majority of Titan and Warlock.
Yeah. So like my character is like straight out just not getting
it. It really should rotate. Like it should be like, well, one day is what it should go like Warlock, Titan, Hunter, or some sort of like rotation.
Again, I don't think there's any reason why it can't read what character type you have and just have the one that you'll be able to purchase.
Well, it comes down to the randomization rules. Let's look at their strike playlist for instance, if I could speak English.
Where the only worse RNG in existence is the Blizzard RNG. You haven't experienced the Blizzard RNG.
No, I haven't. But no, I don't know how many times like V and I or you and I have popped into, or even you, any of us, have popped into a Tiger Strike playlist, and we get
gotten the same
strike
like
three times in a row. Yeah. How hard it's set up a randomization rule that they don't repeat. You might get it every other one, but you know what? That's better than getting it 3 times in a row.
Add an if-then statement.
What's
like
that?
Add like one if-then statement.
Yeah,
in your
exactly.
Code. Like
it's.
And that's the thing, because like whatever the code they're using for randomization, if they cannot fix it by adding like one line, like almost literally one line of code, then they did something wrong setting up the system to begin with.
Well, it's a classic problem of over-engineering. It's why do something in 5 lines of code when you can do it more elegantly and quicker in 1 line, and you have less to worry about breaking. So.
Yeah, that's been a problem since day one.
Yeah, no, that has. Well, admittedly, I love the game. I have nothing but respect and love for Bungie for doing it, and they've been amazingly good about listening to what the people's complaints and what they want. And I don't want this to come across as, hey, these guys, hey, these guys are all it is. They're not. They're working tirelessly to bring us the game we want and the game they think we deserve.
And they seem to take the constructive criticism.
No, as long as you don't come at them with...
It's constructive.
The constructive criticism is entirely the thing. Oh, this game sucks, I wasted my money. That's not helping anybody. What's the problem? What do you want out of it? And that's the thing. Whenever you give them that, they go, okay, well, let's look at this. Here's what we can do.
I love Destiny for what it does. It scratches that FPS MMOs.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It scratches that itch.
I would have, and going somewhat off topic, I would love, there's something I didn't get a chance to bring up on Redacted this week. There's a Chinese-only Borderlands MMO coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I know. I really want it.
Yeah. I need, in my veins, right now. I want it.
I paid $60 for Borderlands 2. Guess how long I've played Borderlands 2?
60 minutes.
0 minutes.
Yeah.
All
right, well, you
Borderlands. Okay,
so.
Here's the thing. Borderlands 2, and I will say this straight out. I love Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 has easily become one of those games. Same with GTA 5. Same thing with Destiny. Playing it by myself, Playing it with other people.
That's the thing I've found with the whole Borderlands franchise, where if I'm not playing with somebody else, I'd rather not play.
Borderlands 2, your first playthrough.
Yeah.
Is absolutely
stellar.
It is.
It is great. It really is great.
Alone or with friends, it's absolutely stellar. anything after that, you have to have.
Yeah, it's almost required. Only for enjoyment's sake.
Yeah.
It really is.
Any DLCs you can totally do by yourself. Like it's all enjoyable.
Oh, and Borderlands 2
single player.
has but comparatively a crap ton of
first time.
DLC and a crap ton of good
Yeah.
DLC. They supported that for
Bunkers and Badasses is one of the
yeah.
my favorite.
Oh, that
DLCs ever created.
that is a great DLC.
Bringing it back to Destiny, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
what this one special cast is supposed to be about. Like, I look at it like at that Borderlands style of like like a multiplayer co-op style thing where it's like there are some things where I really like playing with my friends within Destiny, but there are a lot of things where I'd rather not have to pug out. For anybody who's not in the know, pug means pickup group. I'd rather not pug out. Because
I'd rather be able to solo the daily story mission.
Yeah. I'd rather solo the daily story mission than looking at my friends list and going, crap, there's nobody on. I have to go.
Well, yeah,
hog out.
that's the thing too. There's been a couple times where V and I are like just to mess around. We'll go on and try and do. We're both level 28, 29. We'll go on and just you know what we need to do this one strike for a mission. Let's just go and do this one strike on say 22 or 24. Let's just breeze through it. Let's just get it done and collect the XP. There's only two of us. Oh crap, no one's on. Now we have to take on this third. Neither one of us really want to do that.
Yeah.
Either one of us could probably solo this strike at this point, and it's like, great, we got to deal with some. We got to deal with someone who's just going to run ahead of us, or not really help, or not. I mean, it's just not going to be good.
Like, and I found a lot of times where, like, when you get a pickup, it's 50-50 if you're going to get that one, if you're going to get the tard, or if you're going to get the guy who's going to be like, okay, we're a team, let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, this game, you've got a better chance of getting someone who actually knows how to play with people as opposed to someone
Especially
who's just out for themselves. Yeah, no, definitely.
And a lot of times I have a ton of fun when you get that one pug team where it's like, we're a team. We all can fit together. It doesn't matter like what
We're
class
doing
we
stuff.
are.
You res me, I res you.
Yeah.
There's
I've gotten into a ton of strike playlists where I'm just in a random group and three guys from three different parts of the country randomly get together and we just gel. And it's happened so often, and it's so satisfying when that happens.
You know what's really funny is farming. Like 2 or 3 of us will get on a strike team, and we'll go do cars, Madrome, and farm. We'll farm spin metal and glimmer and public events. And normally the 3 of us are keeping. We're spread out. We're looking for spin metal. We're looking for chests. And I've more than once, and that's the amazing thing, more than once. And I've tried to start doing this for people because it's happened to me more than a few times. I'm looking around and I'm doing something. I get this character off the side. He's shooting me. He's trying to get my attention. He's waving at me, whatever. I look over and he's standing by a chest, and he just waits for me. And I'm like, that's awesome.
That's how I got into one of my dailies, is because like I was doing the daily on Mars, and I went through my routine of like, okay, I'm going to check these spawn holes for chests.
Yep.
I ran down a hole, and I saw this guy kind of sort of following me, and I saw a chest down there. I'm like sitting there waiting for him, and I see him run by, and I start shooting him, and I try to get his attention, and apparently he was on the daily as well, and he runs down. We kind of like start crouch dancing at each other, and then I see him go busy, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on. Then I get the invite, and then I see him come off busy, and then I look down at the chest. And I open the chest, and we both get the chest out of the stuff, and I check my notifications. He's like, daily?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a similar thing happen. I was playing with Dickie, and we needed to farm stuff on Mars, and we're running around one of the areas just circling stuff. There was one other guy on the map, and I figured out he was doing the same thing. Almost in the same arc, but he was half the arc ahead of us. So finally I was like, we're just gonna go catch up to him. And so we get next to him, and we the two of us were doing almost the same route anyway. So I was missing all these chests. So I caught up to him and start doing it with him. And then he's like, when we get separated a little bit, he's shooting at me and back and forth. It's just nice, like even if a person doesn't have a mic, it does open up
Yeah,
for some
there
nice
are
gameplay
there are ways to communicate with each other if you're observant.
Yeah.
And I think with the way that Destiny has played out and the way that Destiny is going, it's weeded out a lot of like the troll players.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that just had like a snap decision and went, "Oh, this isn't the game for me," and they just left. Yeah. And honestly, that's kind of improved the pool. That's kind of improved, and it's kind of one of the reasons why I still won't go into Crucible, because that's a whole different type of player. And in a lot of games, that's the type of player I kind of want to avoid.
You get the opposite effect with Crucible or with PvP when you start weeding out players, where it's when you go into PvP now, you get the majority of the people who are in there for PvP.
Yeah.
Whereas if like you're going around in PvE, when you're going around PvE, you're getting the majority of the players who want to PvE. So like I really like both sides of it, and I still haven't PvE'd in later in this because I don't really have
well,
much to do
again,
in
the only time I'm going to PvP is, like, the only time I'm going to go in the Crucible is if we have a 3 to 6 man team.
I love PvP.
Yeah, but
it's because you're a hunter
at heart. But I do enjoy it. I do enjoy having fun. I'm good at it. I'm not great. But I'm
not even good.
But
I'll carry you. I'll carry you, Sean.
Well, I mean, there you go. We could. I mean, if it's like I said, as long as we've, for anyone who's interested, we have the Chaotic Neutral podcast Destiny Clan on Bungie.net. It's open to both members of the show and anyone who happens to listen. So if you listen, definitely go and join the Destiny
for PS4 and Xbox.
Yes,
One.
we have, but it's both systems, because we have players on PS3 as well. I think we have a couple of players on Xbox 360. But I'm not sure.
I think most of it's
I don't know,
PS4, Xbox One, and PS3.
There's a couple PS3s.
Yeah, there's a couple PS3s. We might not have Xbox 360 yet, but don't let that stop you.
Yeah.
But we're a fairly active clan. We've been trying to use the boards there a little more often, but we also have a Facebook group
for it
that because a lot of us know each other, so it's just been easier. But frankly, come join us. We're all relatively nice guys, and
we just like shooting things together.
Yeah,
There's a couple of those.
Yeah.
Oh, and we just enjoy shooting things together.
Yeah, but at that point, we're about out of time. Thank you for listening to this, and
Thank you, Sean.
and until next time, I've been Sean.
I'm Lynch.
I am Lucci.
And see you guys in orbit.